Hey everyone, welcome to the second video on this 3-video series on identifying multi-bagger ideas. In the previous video, we discussed 5 foreign institutional investors that I tracked very closely, and we also looked at their portfolio. Now before we proceed further, if you haven't watched my previous video, I would request you to pause this video and watch that first part. In today's video, we'll discuss 6 domestic institutional investors that I tracked very closely, especially to identify new investment opportunities. Now in case of DIS, I don't just track the fund house or a specific fund within that fund house. More than that, I track the investment style of the fund manager or the founder, CEO, MD of the fund house. And this is very important. Majority of retail investors simply invest in mutual funds that have generated high returns in the last 1 to 3 years. But there is no guarantee that a mutual fund that has outperformed in the last 1 to 3 years would continue to outperform in the future. If I compare it with cricket, a cricketer might score a century in a match or take 5 wickets. But there is no guarantee that he would continue to score centuries or take 5 wickets. That's where you bet on cricketers that have a strong history of good performance. Because in cricket, as they say, form is temporary but class is permanent. And that's where I've identified 6 such super fund managers that have a great track record of outperformance in the past. So I look at them beyond percentage return in the last 1 to 3 years. And they are all value investors except one. Alright, let's get started with the details of 6 DIs that I track closely for multi-bagger ideas. So the first domestic institutional investor that I track very closely is Parag Parikh Mutual Fund. And within that, I track Parag Parikh FlexiCap Fund. In my opinion, Parag Parikh is one of the most ethical and genuine mutual fund house that we have in our country. And the reason is because if you look at other mutual fund houses, every other mutual fund house has got multiple mutual funds across category, including your large cap, mid cap, small cap, multi-cap, flexi-cap, value fund, and then within your sectoral, they have got your fund across defense, infra, power, and so on and so forth. But Parag Parikh has only got 2 equity-based mutual fund. One is flexi-cap and the another is tech saver. So they are extremely focused. If they want, they can also launch 10 different mutual fund across category to mint money, but they are not doing it. And one of the reason is the strong foundation that is set by late Mr. Parag Parikh. Unfortunately, he is no more with us. He met with an accident in 2015, but his thoughts and his value investment style is always with us via this book, Value Investing and Behavioral Finance. In my opinion, if you are a long-term investor willing to create wealth in the Indian stock market over long term, this is one book that you must read. I'm sure this will set a very solid foundation in your investment journey. Apart from him, another person that I really track closely is Mr. Rajiv Thakkar, who is the CIO of Parag Parikh Fund and again a great value investor. So he's quite vocal on various media interaction. You can go on YouTube and Google his interviews to understand about his investment philosophy. So let's look at the stock holding of Parag Parikh FlexiCap Fund. By the way, I'll anyway share this link in the description and pinned comment. So on the screener, you can see the detail of Parag Parikh FlexiCap Fund. So if you look at the holding, screener is showing the holding since June 2022 only. Okay, and what are the stocks? We have got Bajaj holding in their portfolio where they have increased their stake over the period of time. Second is Balkrishna Industry where they entered in September 2023 and they increased the stake in December and still hold it. Of course, the June data is not yet available for some of the stocks. So we have to wait and watch on the latest holding pattern. Now I'll share an example of Balkrishna Industry. When they entered in September 2023, let's have a look at where it was. So if you look at the chart, in September 2023, it was somewhere around 2,300. And if you look at 3 years of movement, Balkrishna Industry struggled. In fact, if you just look at before that, obviously there was a sharp rally till September 22. But then for almost 2 years, Balkrishna did not generate any return. Right? And it was during September 2023 when this fund house entered. Now, how many of you would have the courage to invest in a company that has not generated any return for 2 years? And even for the next few months, this particular stock, Balkrishna, did not generate any return before generating a decent return recently. So the point is that these fund houses, they understand fundamentally strong companies and they invest when they are available at good price. Whereas on the other side, majority of retail investors try to chase the return. A stock that has already generated great return, they try to chase that. Right? So that is the big difference between these fund houses and retail investor. Then another company that they are holding for a very long period is CDSL, although it's not showing March 24 data, but they still hold it. Then you have got Coal India also. By the way, CDSL we have discussed it multiple times. Coal India is also part of their portfolio, where recently they've increased their stake in June quarter. EID Parry is again a new addition in their portfolio that they added in March 2024. We have already discussed EID Parry in detail. Then they've got ICRA in their portfolio, where they are holding it consistently. Indian Energy Exchange, interestingly, they are holding for a very long time in spite of no return. In fact, I'm sure you all would be aware, after what has happened with IEX, it generated huge return during COVID rally, then corrected more than 50%. There was news around the regulation and impact on its moat and everything. Yet, this mutual fund house, Parag Parikh, has kept its confidence in the company, and they're still holding a very good quantity in the company. Then they have entered in Indraprasth Gas in March 2024. So it seems they are also bullish on the city gas distributors. Then Ipca Lag is part of their portfolio since a long time. Maharashtra Scooter is there. Motilal Oswal, they are quite bullish for a long time. Then they have also got Multi Commodity Exchange, MCX, in their portfolio. And another stock is Power Grid. So, and in fact, they've increased the allocation. So, they're also playing this power theme, but via this Power Grid stock. So, this is the latest holding of Parag Parikh. If we quickly summarize, the stock that they are holding for a long time include Bajaj Holdings, CDSL, Coal India, ICRA, IEX, Ipca Lab, Maharashtra Scooter, Motilal Oswal, MCX. And the new additions are Balkrishna Industry, which was done last year, EID Parry done last quarter, Indraprasth Gas again last quarter, and Power Grid that they added in June 2023 and has increased stake over the period of time. The next domestic institutional investor that I track closely is Mirae Asset Group. And within that, I track Mirae Asset Large and Mid Cap Fund. Earlier, it was known as Mirae Asset Emerging Blue Chip Fund. And Mirae Asset CIO is Mr. Nilesh Surana. And he's also the co-fund manager of this particular mutual fund, which is Mirae Large and Mid Cap. Now, if you look at Screener, there are two links, mainly because it was earlier known as Mirae Asset Emerging Blue Chip, but now since the name has changed to Mirae Asset Large and Mid, so Screener is showing it separately. So you have to look at both the tabs to understand. For example, Atul Limited, they are holding since June 2021. In fact, they've increased allocation in Atul Limited, and recently, if you look at it, they still hold it, although in March they slightly reduced the allocation. Then second stock they have is where they have increased the stake is Bayer CropScience, again holding it since March 2022, and the latest, if you look at it, they have increased the stake till March and slight reduction in June. Then they've got Bharat Forge in their portfolio since June 2022. Again, Bharat Forge, we have discussed it in detail, and recently, if you look at it, they have slightly reduced, but then again increased their stake in June quarter. Then they've got CEAT for a long time. I mean, if you look at it since March 2019, they are holding it. Is it a part of portfolio still? CEAT, yes, it is still showing till March 2024. Then they've got your Coforge that they entered in June 2023, which is still there. So till December it was showing, March it is not showing. Then they've got Delhivery, again a very interesting name. They entered in your December 2022. So as the name suggests, they identify emerging blue chips, right? And Delhivery is part of their portfolio where they've consistently increased allocation in spite of underperformance. So Delhivery has been, pretty flat since, in fact, after IPO it fell down. Since then, there is no return. But your Mirae Group is consistently increasing stake from 1.97 to 3, and latest, if you look at it, in Delhivery, they've again increased their stake. Every quarter, they've increased stake in Delhivery. So they are quite bullish on this company. Then they've got Fortis Healthcare, which is it part? Yes, it is still showing in March as well. Then they've got Gateway Distripark Park. So they're quite bullish on this company, holding it since many years now. It is still there where they're holding 8.6% stake. Then got Gland Pharma, again a very interesting case study. If you look at it, they invested in this company in March 2023 and have increased their stake, still hold it. So yes, they still hold it. In fact, consistently they've increased their stake in Gland Pharma. Let me show you the share price journey. So when they entered in this company in March 2023, Gland Pharma was struggling big time. This is the 5-year chart. Look at this. From the peak of 4,200 in August 21, it fell down to lows of 900. And they entered during this phase in March 2023 when it fell down badly. I remember doing this video on Gland Pharma at these levels. And again, the point is, when a stock fell, 60%, 70%, how many of you would have the courage? They not just entered into it, they've consistently increased their stake. And if you look at last 1 year of movement, so from the lows of 900, it is already at levels of 2000. Stock has doubled. Right? So this shows the conviction of the fund house and their confidence in the company. Then another stock they have in the list is Ipca Lab, where they've increased the allocation. And recently, if you look at Ipca, it's not showing up here. Then they've got Lupin in their list. Is it still there? Yes, Lupin is there in the list as well. Then they've got Emphasis in their portfolio. Quite interesting. They've added it in March 2024. So recent addition. And although it's not showing up here. Then they've got your PB Fintech. Again, very interesting name. Although they've slightly reduced their stake. Prestige State they've got where they've increased their stake consistently. So if you look at Prestige State here, yes, they still have it, and in fact, they've increased the allocation. And they identified, look at the kind of early identification. They invested in Prestige State in December 2022. And if you look at the journey of Prestige State, in December 2022, it was at levels of 400. It didn't perform well for a very long time, right? It was quite flat, and from there it is today at 1800, right? So it's all about conviction and patience. Then they've got a few more stocks. They've got Prince Pipe, where they've consistently increased the stake from 4.9% all the way to 9.96%. Again, same story with Prince Pipe. No return since last 3 years. Look at this, 3 years, no return. Yet this fund house is consistently increasing stake, right? Sapphire Food is again another example that they're holding since a long time, and again no return in last long time because the entire quick service restaurant space is struggling. So if you look at it, no return since the IPO, yet they are increasing stakes, so they're quite confident about the future. Then they've got SKF India, they've got Tata Communication as well, which is yes, still there, right? And SKF India is also there, although they've slightly reduced their stake. Then third fund house that I track is basically it's a alternate investment fund, and the only reason I track it is because of Mr. Prashant Jain. He's one person I've been tracking for almost 8 years now, and in my opinion, he's one of the best fund house manager in our country. He is actually an ex-CIO of HDFC Mutual Fund from 2004 to 2022. So 18 years he has led this group and made it what it is today, right? And basically he's an IIT Kanpur and IIM Bangalore alumni and a fantastic value investor. One of the great example is he was the first person who identified PSU stock during 2018 to 20 period. But unfortunately, during that time, PSU stocks were underperforming, and because of that, it impacted HDFC AMC performance. But we all know today where your PSU stocks are, right? The kind of outperformance we have seen, it's just that he was a bit early in identifying that trend, right? So he found value in PSU stock long back, which nobody else could do. And that is the reason I like his vision. He's basically started a new fund house, 3P Investment Manager. It's basically an alternate investment fund. So what is the 3P in that? 1P is prudence of creating portfolio of sustainable and reasonably valued business. Second P is patience with business and market, because risk in equity reduces as investment horizon increases. And third P is about performance in the outcome. Now, since it is a new fund, it's a new AIF, which is alternate investment fund. They are not much detailed about the fund because there's not much money that is invested so far. Still, there are a few stocks that they hold. One is Ashoka Buildcon, where they're consistently holding 1.14. J Kumar Infra is one stock there. Recently increased the stakes, or they're quite bullish on this capex theme and infra theme. Landmark Car is another stock that they have in their portfolio. Then they've got Senco Gold as well. And recently they've invested in Time Technoplast, with 1.1% stake. So this is the latest investment that they have done. So this is the detailed about the 3P India Equity Fund. And then the fourth mutual fund is your SDFC Mutual Fund. Within that, your SDFC Mid Cap Opportunity Fund, which is managed by Mr. Chirag Setalvad, who has got more than 25 years of experience. If you look at the portfolio, it includes names like AIA Engineering, again a long-term holding. Unfortunately, it is still showing only data since June 2023, but then you can still access that. So we've got Arvind Limited as well. Then they've got Atul, although they've reduced this allocation. AU Small Finance is there. Then Bharat Electronics is a part, although they've reduced the stake after the sharp rally in the company. Coforge is there, part of their portfolio. Cummins India is there. Delta Corp, they've reduced the allocation. Dhanuka Agritech, they are holding constantly. Dilip Buildcon, they've got a good allocation. Then they've got Gland Pharma again, where they've increased the stake big time. So it seems these fund houses are quite bullish on Gland Pharma. In general, I also feel that the pharma space is looking quite attractive. Then they've got Greenland Industry, Green Panel, although they've slightly reduced the stake. Gujarat Fluoro is also part of their portfolio. Then they've got HPCL, Indian Hotels. Then Ipca Lab again is part of their portfolio where they've increased their stake. Again, part of pharma theme. Jindal Steel is there. KEC International is there. KNR Construction. So they're also quite bullish on this capex and construction theme. Then they've got PB Fintech, Persistent, although they've slightly reduced their stake. Then they've got Reddington. Then they've got SKF India and Solar Industry. Then they've got Symphony. Tata Chemical, they are holding in spite of underperformance for a long time. Tata Communication is also part of their portfolio. So this is the holding of SDFC Mid Cap Opportunity Fund. Fifth DII that I track very closely is your Kotak Mutual Fund, and within that I track Kotak Emerging Equity. And overall, I really like the investment style of Kotak Mutual Fund and the theme, overall fund philosophy because of Mr. Nilesh Shah, who is the MD of Kotak AMC. Again, he has got a lot of media interaction, so you can go and watch his videos to understand his thought process and his investment philosophy, because I focus a lot on the investment philosophy of these fund managers. Like I said, your form is temporary but class is permanent. A stock, a mutual fund might underperform for let's say 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, but if a fund has got a solid manager, it will eventually do well. And that's why I focus more on the fund manager rather than on the fund itself. If you look at the detail of Kotak Emerging Equity, it includes names like Atul Limited. Again, they've consistently increased stake in Atul. Then they've got Bharat Forge, discussed it multiple times on our YouTube channel. Blue Star is there. Then they've got Coforge in their portfolio, where they increased stake in March quarter. Cummins is part of their portfolio since many years now. Then they invested in Dixon and Emami last year. So Dixon, they have not increased stake, but Emami, they have constantly increased their stake in the company. Apart from this, they've got HPCL, Ipca Lab, again part of their portfolio where they've constantly increased their stake. So if you try to take inference out of it, majority of these fund houses are quite bullish on pharma theme. And within that, they've got Ipca and a lot of them have got Gland Pharma. Then Kajaria Ceramic is one company that they invested in your last year where they've increased allocation. Apart from that, they've got Oberoi Realty where they invested long back and increased the allocation. Persistent System is part of their portfolio. PNC Infra they're holding for many years now. Then Ratnami Metal is there. Schaeffler India is there in their portfolio. Sheela Foam is there. SKF India is part of their portfolio. Solar Industry, although they've reduced some allocation. Then they've got Sundaram Fastener. Then they've got Supreme Industry in their portfolio. Again, V-Guard is part of their portfolio, again, holding it for a long time. And your Whirlpool India, again same example. Whirlpool, if you look at it, it underperformed for a very long time. So if you look at 5 year of journey, look at the underperformance. From those peaks, it fell down 2,500 to nearly more than 50% correction. Having said this, there's a sharp rally from those lows to already at 2,000, right? So these fund houses, give you a solid example of how do you identify a fundamentally strong company at attractive valuation and stick with your conviction. If there is a correction in the stock, rather than panicking, they increase their allocation, because when there's a correction in fundamentally strong company, it makes it even more attractive, right? So this is the detail. And if you quickly look at your names in Excel. So this is of Mirai, then this is 3P, where then they've got SDFC here, and finally we are talking about Kotak. So they've got Atul, Bharat Forge, Cummins, Dixon, Imami, IPCA, then Oberoi, PNC, Ratnami, Schaeffler, SKF, V-Guard, Whirlpool, and new addition include Coforge, Kajaria Ceramic, and Sundaram Fastener. Majority of them are sort of mid-cap companies. Then final fund house that I track very closely is your Quant Mutual Fund. Now this is a very interesting mutual fund, quite different from the 5 fund houses that we have discussed. The 5 that we have discussed are more of value investment fund, and of course a mix of value and growth, but Quant is quite different. They believe in investing based on data, so very less human intervention and more of data oriented investment. Plus they are more into your momentum investing. They identify opportunity, they invest, and then they don't mind exiting, right? So they do a lot of churning in their portfolio. One of the risks is that you cannot blindly trust them. So it might happen that they enter in a particular stock in one quarter and second quarter they might exit. But this is very, very interesting in my opinion. Mr. Sandeep Tandon, who is the founder and CEO of Quant, and in last few years it has outperformed the industry from 100, you're just about 100 crore of AUM. Today they have nearly 1 lakh crore of AUM. So huge growth they have seen. And if you look at the details of Quant Mutual Fund, we've got Anupam Rasayan that they invested in March, still invested in June quarter. Balrampur Chini is there where they've increased the allocation. Britannia Industry they entered in March. So this is again very interesting, you know, a consumer centric stock that they invested in March. So probably they find opportunity in consumer space as well. EID Parry is again from consumer domain, sugar and consumer. We have discussed it in detail. Then they've got Engineer India. One of the new addition in their portfolio in June quarter is Exicom Telesis, which is a very interesting stock. Basically, it's into your power system for your telecom as well as for electric vehicle charging related solution. So quite interesting name. Then they've got Gopal Snack. Then they've got Hudco in their portfolio, India Shelter. Then they've got Indoco Remedies. Next is your Indraprasth Medical that they've entered recently in June quarter. Jash Engineering they're holding for a very long time. In fact, they've increased the allocation there. Karnataka Bank they entered last quarter. Then they've got Maharashtra Seamless, Metropolis Healthcare, then Neogen Chemical. Apart from that, a few more stocks like SciSilk, Sequent Science, SCI, Thyrocare. Again, very interesting. Thyrocare has been underperforming for a very long time. So if you look at Thyrocare share price, it has corrected sharply after a huge outperformance during COVID. From those 1500 highs to lows of 400, from there it has recovered to 600. So recently Quant has entered into Thyrocare. Then Vatak Vabak is also a recent addition in last quarter. We have discussed this company while discussing about the water recycling companies, and Vishnu Prakash Punglia is also part of their portfolio. So this is the list of 6 domestic institutional investors and the fund managers that I track closely. Like I said, it's all about following that fund manager, his investment philosophy, because if you are there in the long-term game of wealth creation, the more important aspect is the investment philosophy of that fund manager rather than the fund performance, because it might happen the fund do not outperform for a brief period, but in the long term, if the fund manager is strong, the fund would do well. And that's where I get a lot of idea in terms of what stocks they are buying and what kind of sectors they are looking promising. So one of the observation is these fund house managers are quite bullish on this current capex and infra theme. Apart from this, pharma has been an outperformer where a lot of fund houses have recently increased allocation. So yeah, this is it from my side. Just one more update. In case you want to know out of all these lists, what kind of companies I am personally bullish on. So I've got a series on a weekly video, which is basically where I share one exclusive video. In this series, I share my own investment ideas, stocks where I'm investing my money, my own convictions. And of course, this is not a buy or sell call. The idea is simple that, normal people, they do not get time for research, and that's where I invest nearly 8-10 hours a day and do that research and try to add value, try to identify the macro themes, sectors that would benefit, stocks that would benefit from that theme, and of course, my own conviction out of the research that I do. So you can get this detail on my website. Apart from this, if you visit my YouTube channel, there's a join button that you can also explore here, and you can get the same videos there as well. So this is it from my side. Now tell me in the comment which stock from this entire list you have in your portfolio, which sectors you think are looking promising. And if you find this video useful, do share it within your friend circle. I'll see you next video. Till then, take care. Cricket, a cricketer might score a century in a match or take 5 wickets, but there's no guarantee that he would continue to score centuries or take 5 wickets. That's where you bet on cricketers that have a strong history of good performance. Because in cricket, as they say,